so we can we can start. We can try. So okay, hello everyone. Good morning, good evening. I'm very blessed and privileged that I'm opening a series of meetings with filmmakers. Today we start talking with directors from Southeast Asia competition of short animations from the program, from the first program. And the guests of our first panel are truly exceptional artists from the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore. What they have in common is, apart from the extraordinary talent, awareness of the power of animation. Their films deal with important topics in an original, but what is worth emphasizing, understandable way. Okay, so thank you that you are here and you accepted our invitation, and we can talk a little about your works and yeah, about your approaches. And because we are a lot of guests today, let's go. Let's start. The first movie I wish to talk about is the first movie in the program, Ambulance. We have a director, Fabio Valentino, and Asharia Sofura Wijaya, the producer of the movie. The movie was created in Indonesia. It's a student movie. And yeah, hello.
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 Hello, Peter. Long time no see you.
Yeah, thank you. So you tell us a real story held on the streets of Jakarta. A terrifying story. It's animated documentary. For me, it's very close because this is one of the area that I try to focus on. I remember when I was in Jakarta in 2019 and experienced a huge traffic jam. I had to catch the train, so I decided to take a taxi. It was a mistake, a big mistake. During our travel, I got out of the taxi and went on foot. Unfortunately, I made it. So please, can you tell us more about the story standing behind the movie and the process of creation this movie, about the technique, very original, very unique technique.
Thank you before.
Thank you for the long speech that you gave to us. First of all, the story about the ambulance is being
Coming from our own experience.
Same with Piotr's case that you got stuck from the traffic jam in Jakarta. It's the same from our experience. So in our experience, we look like so much people that don't care about the ambulance when it's stuck in the traffic jam in Jakarta, especially. So we think about our last project on the college. So and then ambulance came in our mind. So we need to
Increasing the awareness of people. A small story is Fabio and I once escort an ambulance on our way home.
Yeah, we
escort an ambulance because it's stuck in the traffic.
We once have that experience.
That's what that's also what makes us to create ambulance. So we contact the Jakarta Health Agency and met Mr. David, the ambulance driver.
Yeah. We before that we kind of like searching for the
many
other ambulance
driver.
driver to get the right story from their experience. So I think like 3 or 4 ambulance driver that we interviewed. So in the end, we choose David Salatulubis for his experience, and we create the imagination of the words that he spoke on his experience, and
So in ambulance, we use painting style and expressionism style from
Kirchner.
Ernst Ludwig Kirchner. He is a German expressionist
Expressionism.
artist. So we wanna make
some exaggeration to the shot, all of the shot in the movie
of David emotions
to increase
the audience will feel like they are standing in the
movie itself.
In the movie, experiencing what David experienced, traffic and the stuck in the traffic
while carrying the
passion.
And then about the technique that you said, we usually don't use any kind of special technique. We just kind of paint all the texture one by one.
So it's really movie with
with
2D
paint texture.
We also use some technique from Mickey Benz. He is an artist from
Portugal.
Portugal. He is creating some mesh around the 3D object. So then he used opacity map. So it will create a painterly style like on the 3D models.
And how long you made the movie?
You want the
process, from the first, the first day of the creation, not about the concept before the thinking about the idea, but when you create the concept and you had the first day, you said we start and then we over the end. How long it was?
It's been, I think, 1.5 years, I think.
Okay.
Or before I met you in the last craft, I think, that I thought that I want to make the ambulance documentaries. If you
yes. Now I start remember. Yes. Okay.
And then after that, we decided to really develop the concept about the ambulance, and it's been like 6 months from a full production of 6 months, but we feel like the story is not kind of good, so we scrap all the 6-month progress and start the new one, and it took us for about like 1 year to finish all the film until its publication. And thing like it's been a long journey. Like it's so hard to find. We changed the concept, the asset, and the concept too, and many like others. Like it's so hard to find the correct story. It's the most important thing. It's to find the correct story of the ambulance driver. It's the most, I think, it's the most hard thing to do in this film.
And did you present the movie outside of the school? I mean, I'm wondering about the reception of this movie, because this movie is very important. It's some kind of appeal and intervention movie, because it should be presented to the people. And do you have some experience about that, about the reception of the movie?
I think
from the viewers, from the common people.
We haven't published it publicly.
Yeah, I think it's publicly not yet, but on the festivals and so on, we already submit to many festivals, and so many people that watch our film direct message us that they really love the movie and the concept, and they really the movie really touched their heart and their mind about how important ambulance in their life actually. So
Yeah.
the people thinks that our film is really have an important message, and yeah, I think that's it. Not
Maybe
Okay.
we will publish it
publicly,
in public.
so the people can enjoy our film and really
We can deliver our message to many people.
especially on Indonesia itself.
Yes.
Yeah, it should. It should, because it's a very, the movie touched a very important, very important topic, and maybe it will be like cold water on the people, on the head of people. You know what I mean?
Yes, I
Please
know.
wake up. Wake up.
Wake up and open your eyes about ambulance.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much. We go to the next guest, but please stay with us, of course. And if someone have any questions and now hear us or watching us, you can put the question on the chat as a comment on YouTube, and we will be very grateful for that. Okay, the next movie and the next guest is Titsal. I think good pronouncement, Titsal, created by Jane Evangelista. Yes.
Yes.
From Philippines. Hello, Jen. Your film, your movie deals with a very important, if not the most important topic of our time, the deadly impacts of man on the environment. So I will not ask you about what the story stands behind this movie, because everyone, after watching your movie, we know what happened and what it's about. But tell us more about the process of creation, about the technique you used. What was the biggest challenge, please?
Hello. So first of all, I would like to say that the technique that we use is frame by frame, and I only had one animator, but we had many background illustrators, and my animator is very great, is very talented, and she's Ria Kaluya, and I want to thank her for all the effort she has done for the film. And the process of the production, it actually took me 3 years to make this film. You know why? Because I didn't have any production crew. So I stayed my script in 3 years, and 2 months for the production itself and the post-production, and 3 years of the script because I found it difficult to arrange a group of animators who would do this film. Luckily, this year I found the greatest animation team I ever had in my life. So that's it. And why my choice is animation? Because animation is my choice of genre, because first of all, this would be difficult to shoot in real life. And second, animation is not only just for children, but for all of us to watch. And I believe animation is a powerful tool to deliver a message too. So yes, that's it.
So you was only one artist working on this movie, or you collaborate with someone?
We collaborated. We have background illustrators. We have one animator, but we have around 8 background illustrators for this film, and that's it.
Okay. Your movie is a student work. So can you tell us more about your school? How many people are in 1 year, and it's 3 years, 2 years, 5 years? How it looks like? Because I don't have any I don't have any knowledge about the system of education in Philippines. So I'm very curious about it.
We are actually from different colleges, and I am from De La Salle of College of St. Benil, and the others are from I Academy. And we collaborated together to make this film and to have this advocacy to tell the story about the plastics and how it affects the world. And that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions, please ask on the chat. If no, we go to our third guest and to the movie Forgotten Dream, Lee Jun Tong from Malaysia.
Hi.
Yes, welcome. Lee, you tell us a story about the importance of dreams and the need to fight for them, and what it's never too late. That is never too late for that, for this fighting. And my first question is this based on the real story?
Yes, true. It is inspired based on our own experience with chasing our dreams, especially with our parents who prefer us to have a stable job and earn a stable income so that we won't have a hard life in the future. As an art student, we had that experience and we wanted to show it through our film. We wanted to show that sometimes we had to choose to give up on our dreams because we had to be realistic, so-called realistic, and that it won't be able to cover up our living expenses. But I guess it's not true because I'm working as an artist right now too. Want to inspire people to remember their dreams and remind them, no matter what the situation, how old are you, it's never too late to chase after your dreams. Sometimes it doesn't really need to be a big change. It can be just like a small thing, like making contents on online platform, or do it with people who like, and just do it as a hobby.
Yeah. To make your life better or more shiny. Yeah, I agree with you. So can you tell us, this question will be the same for all of you because this is the craft festival. So we want to know more about the craft and the process, how the movie was created. So can you tell us more about the process? Because you mixed two styles, two techniques. Please tell us more.
In this short film, we use both 3D animation and stylized 3D animation, and also illustration 2D method. We did it that way. It's because in 3D art style, we were inspired by Disney kind of stylized style, and in 2D, because we wanted to create a separation between the past and the present world. So we use like a children illustration book kind of style for it. And for 3D, it's because there are some scenes that are unachievable in live action. So we use 3D animation to achieve it. Yeah.
Okay. And what was the biggest challenge during the work on the movie?
I would say that the biggest challenge was communication, because we had to work from home. Like we couldn't meet each other.
Pandemic era.
Yeah.
But I think for animation of 2020 and pandemic was very good, because animators usually work alone or in small groups, and they don't need to, to fix the places outside. They worked with their technical staff. So yeah. Okay. One more question to you about the time. How long you made the movie from the beginning till the end?
From the beginning to the end, we used around 1 year to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, we spent four months on pre-production, brainstorm. No, wait, 8 months. 8 months on. Is it 8 months? Yeah, 8 months on brainstorming and concept pre-production, and 4 months on production and also post-production.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And you mentioned that the communication was the biggest challenge. And so, how many people communicated? How many people worked on the film?
We're actually a small group of people. Our team consists of 4 people.
Okay.
And I'm the animator and also the compositor, director of the film. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you. Let's go to. I start to be not so lazy, because we have 1 hour to our meeting, and we have a lot of guests. So yeah, our another guest is director of Hide and Run from Indonesia, Excel Dermawan. Hello.
Hi, Mr. Piot.
Hello. And yeah, your movie. It's like a daughter's fan with her father, but what is in the background is more important. So what's going on there?
So we took the story from what happened in 1998 in Indonesia. It's the monetary crisis. Actually, it happens in all Asia, but in Indonesia, we just focus for Indonesia. And the place we took is Jakarta. When it riot, there was a riot in Jakarta, May 1998, and we make it as our setting. So what inspired us to take this topic is actually when we this is for our final project in our university, and we need to create a short animation that has relation with our culture, our history, or anything Indonesia. And back the first idea was we gonna make a game that is from Indonesia. We want to make a game that is unique in Indonesia, or something that we play as a child, because game is interesting and it's fun to animate. So we thought of that, but after a while it start to get boring, actually, because it's just a game and then having fun, and there's no depth in it, in the story. So we thought again what's gonna make it more deep, and we try to look back to our history in Indonesia, because Indonesia actually isn't that far from monetary crisis, and I don't think we have healed fully from that moment. Sometimes there are some riot that happens, and there are problem with Chinese, and Chinese as the minority and the majority. Like last time is with Ahok, I think, Ahok, and then some people start talking that the 1998 will happen again, where Chinese people is being pushed away by the community. So I think it's not far away from us, but it happened before me and my friends. We born 1999, and it happens before. So we thought it's very interesting for us to learn. We want to know more, so we read books. We ask people, our teachers, because they happen to have a childhood where it happens. One of my teacher tell his story where he, he and his friends played soccer, and he said he saw the red sky and some noises, but he doesn't care. He just play with his friends because it's fun. But actually, what happened back there is fire. People start burning the mall. They burn mall. There are many people died in when people burning. Yeah, so many stuff like tires and cars. People just go mad. Like the, the money, uh, inflation, and they start taking everything, especially from Chinese people, because they thought it's because the Chinese people have privilege, but actually what happened is very deep, because back then Chinese people has a hard time to become what is it uh, go- to work on government and to work as not stuff like on office workplace like that, something like that.
Yeah.
uh I remember one of my uncle able to work on a bank, but back then only BCA, Bank Central Asia, that accept Chinese people for office workers. So many Chinese people become in here we say Tionghoa, Tionghoa. They become businesswoman. They open small business, and yeah, so many people start riot their place and take. And in our story, we portray that where Ita and his father as a Ruko. Ruko is a what I forgot. Ruko is a like a store and a house together. Like
Okay.
for the first floor is usually store, and then the second floor they have their houses.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Everything in one place. Yeah.
mhm. So
Like me, I work in home, but I have only one floor.
yeah, and yeah, we take that story, and I was inspired by a movie. If you know, it's by, I don't know if I pronounce his name right. It's Roberto Benigni.
Roberto Benigni,
Yeah, he made
Italian
the
director.
Life is Beautiful. It
Mhm.
was a movie about where the father tries to protect his son from the concentration camp, Holocaust. He tried to hide the fact that they will be gassed and murdered by making it as a camping game for his son. So his
Mhm.
son was having fun, but the story was portraying from the perspective of the father, and
Mhm.
we just seeing the child from the third perspective. So I was inspired by that movie. It has game, but
Mhm.
a deep history background. But we want to make it more lighthearted, so we try to take from the perspective of the kid.
Mhm.
So yeah, we in our movie, maybe it's a bit weird because we sometimes change the aspect ratio. There's a reason for it. So on the first, like at the beginning, it was 3:4 aspect ratio to make the reminiscence of the old times where TV is just like a box 3x4. We try to show it as a reality, it's happening, and then when it changes to 16:9, it was when the kid is having fun and is having her imagination, like the world is free for her, like it's so there's no black bars, there's no limit, and that's why her toy is alive, like her teddy bear. And then at the end of the movie, when everything starts crumbling, her toy isn't alive anymore, and then the aspect ratio came back to 3x4. It's like little details we want to add, because this is our and not our first, but actually our first project where we try to focus on the story, and because our final project, so we actually had a lot of time to make it, 6 months to think for story, and then pre-production, and 6 months for production and post-production. We had we work it from 2019, like half of 2019 and then half of 2020. Yeah.
Okay. This is 3D computer, classical 3D computer animation, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And what type of technology you used to make it?
So
What program?
we use only Maya. We use
Okay.
Maya because in our university they taught us about Maya, so we just use the Maya, and there's nothing really special in our technical, like we just work it like the usual production we are used to. Of course, we learn a lot of new things for the technical stuff like rigging and stuff, and modeling, because we we had so much like we had expectation for our short animation, like for our last short animation in our in university before we graduate. So we try to push our knowledge, push our capability. We try to learn from YouTube. It's all by Maya, and I think it's only Maya for we learn new things in using texture. Usually we use Photoshop, like by painstakingly use UV map and Photoshop. We just try to see if it is fit or not. But then some of my in my team, they learn to use Substance Painter. So this project is a big jump for us, big jump for me and for my friends. They learn new software. I try to write a story and direct shots, like something like that.
Thank you very much, Axel. So now we jump to Philippines one more time, and we'll talk with two directors. First one is Dan Drizosa, the director of I Am Anika. Hello, Dan.
Hello, everyone. First of all, can I just say that I'm so glad to meet all of you, and I wish we could have met in person. But regardless, I'm so happy to be part of this program. Yes, so I'm from the Philippines. I directed, also co-written, and was one of the animators of our short film, I Am Anika.
Yeah, it's a pleasure for us as well that you are here. We can talk. So thank you. Your movie, another very important all of your movies are very important, by the way, about the topics, you know. You then you touched on a topic that is also discussed lively nowadays in my country, in Poland. I mean, women's rights and the fight against the image imposed by society and culture. And this is the same topic in Philippines, in Poland, in Indonesia. I believe that in many countries nowadays, fortunately. Tell us more about this time about the process of creation, about the technique, how you created this movie.
I'm also gonna agree that it's not just here in the Philippines that the issue of social inequality and discrimination is prevalent. It's also there, just like what you said, in Poland and everywhere else. But
it's very universal, yes.
Yes. The technique that we use in our film is 2D animation that has a style that kind of looks like a kid's drawings. We also did rotoscoping with the part of the girl dancing, and I actually shot a video dancing, then I drew it frame by frame. Yeah, that's our technique. And I think with the process, because we only did the film in just around 2 months, and it's my first animated film, and since when the pandemic broke out, I was too eager to learn something new, so I kind of opt to do animation. And with the help of my friends who have background in animation, we work on this film together. And yeah, it's just a very collaborative project with everyone doing certain parts in the film, certain animation in the film, since it kind of looks like different styles.
How long you made the movie?
All in all, I think the pre-production, production, and the post-production is I think around 2 months, 2 to 3 months.
And about the children's voices,
Yes.
it's the real children that we hear?
Yes, they're actually real children from siblings of my friends. My cousin also voiced one of the kids.
And how it was working with the children? Because I know from my friends, filmmakers, that it's a challenge to work with kids, and how it was during I'm Anika.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of difficult working with kids, but with I Am Anika and with their voicing parts, since everything was done online, I kind of just directed through online, through social media, with direction written and how it's supposed to sound like. And with the help of my friends whose siblings voice, they help out in gathering recording the voice of the kids.
It was a student movie. It was the same school that Jean Evangelista created itself, or another school?
Yes, we're actually classmates from De La Salle College of St. Bernard.
Aha. Okay.
And yes,
Okay.
we're also in each other's team.
Yeah. I see. We are glad to be in each other's team. So Jan put the comment. But I hope there will be some questions from the viewers. Come on, let's go. Okay, thank you very much, Dan, for the description of your movie, I'm Anika. And now we are still on Philippines, and the movie Iridescent by Chiara Yasmin Parenias. Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I hope all can hear you. So, yeah, you tell us the story of a girl who falls into a coma as a result of an accident or suicide attempt. For me, it was suicide attempt, by the way.
Yeah, it was. It was. It's a good thing you got that. Yeah.
Yeah. While in a coma, she meets her descended mother, remembers the birth of her sister, and finally has to make a decision whether she wants to come back to life.
Yeah.
And yes, and the question is the story based on the true story?
It's not exactly based on a true story, but as much as possible, I tried to base it off of my own experience. But it's not based from a true story. And well, my mom is actually alive and well, so it was more inspired by this film Coda by and Maps and Plans, which is about a guy who gets into an accident and really lives most of his life, and in the end he begs for death to bring him back to life again. So that and a bunch of other references. Yeah.
It was Coda. Please remind me. It was the short animated movie.
Yeah. So you've seen it?
Yeah. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
very good.
My favorite animated film.
I think Coda is available in the internet nowadays. I suppose, because it's I think 8 years, 5 years, 8 years, couple years ago was created. By the way, okay. So now, can you tell us more about the process? Of course, the process of creation of your movie, the technique you use.
I actually
softwares as well.
Okay. I actually started in 2018 with the script writing and the pre-production, and after that I guess I learned that I wasn't very good at filmmaking, so I took a break from doing my thesis film, and during that break I focused more on ACADS, and I actually did some research about like film theories and more on the creative side of filmmaking, because at school we were mostly taught technical stuff and like what could be wrong with our film. So I did some research and I did it on YouTube. I got most of my filmmaking knowledge from YouTube, from channels like Accented Cinema, Every Frame a Painting, Cinefix, Nerdwriter, and Lessons from the Screenplay. So after that, I continued doing my film, and the softwares I used were Toon Boom, and I did some Blender too for the backgrounds, which is 3D. And I was originally supposed to do rotoscoping, but I couldn't do it properly with the video references I had, so I just did it by hand, and while looking at the video references I made of my friend. And after that, I guess it took me like another year, because again my story still wasn't that good, but eventually with the help of my professors and my friends and my other friends who were actually very, very good voice actors, I finished my film in time and finally passed and graduated. So yeah.
Okay. And how many people help you with animation? Because there is a three different styles. I mean, the quality of the images, right?
I actually did most of the animation, like the roughs and the in-betweens. And for some scenes, I had to meet my deadline. So I asked for help from 3 of my friends to do the cleanups for me. So yeah. So I was really picky with my in-betweens. So I had to do it myself.
Yeah, and understand the best way is to do by yourself.
Yeah.
And one more question. Of course, but sorry if you told us about that. How long you made the movie?
I guess it took me a total of 1.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, without the breaks. Yeah.
Okay. It was a graduation movie.
Yeah, it was a film for my degree. So
the same school.
I'm actually from the De La Salle College of St. Benil too.
Okay. So one more time, I will ask about that because it's very interesting for me. How many people are on the first year? I don't know, 10, 20, 30? I mean, how many students?
I can't really say for sure. I can't really tell for sure, but in the beginning there were around like 60, I guess, in a batch, but eventually a bunch of us dropped out and there were like only I guess less than 20 or 10, and in one term only 10, I guess, would graduate. So yeah.
Okay. And this is the only one school in Philippines. It's held in Manila, or where is it?
Sorry?
The school, your school.
Yeah, it's in Manila.
It's Manila.
Yeah.
And it's just only school where people can teach, where can learn the animation, or you have more schools?
There are more schools in Manila, like Academy, and I guess some in STI, and there are also schools outside of Manila, which is Ateneo de Naga. So yeah, but I come from CSB, which is, I guess, is the main aside from Academy.
Okay. Thank you very much for this information, because it's every time it's very interesting for me how it looks like the education system in other countries, to compare to what happened nowadays in Poland. Okay, so our last guests and our last movie, as well, the last movie in the program, the first program of Southeast Asia animated movies, is Juren. I hope the title is
correct. Yeah,
Juren, and Shoan Brothers.
Yeah,
Shoan Brothers from Singapore, and this is the professional work you created. Can you tell us more about your? Now we can see the fish, the main character of your movie. Can you tell us more about this movie? Because it's inspired by a poem, but maybe a little bit more.
So the poem was written. Harry, you want to say?
Yes, I can see. I hope everyone can see.
Yeah. Yes. So the poem was written by a Singapore artist. He's actually the richest, one of the richest Singapore artists. He's more famous for his Chinese calligraphy, but he actually wrote a series of poems in 1964. he published a book in with a series of poem, and in that poem there's 3 poems with the similar title titled 巨人. So in English it means giant. So we were selected to do an animation on any Singapore literature, and that compilation of poem catches our attention, and we wanted to do an animation based on that 3 poem. To keep it short,
I can hear the dog. Sorry, I can hear the dog. Yeah, welcome. Welcome, doggy. I love dogs. So yeah.
Okay, I think I will speak. So yeah, so what we did was we actually
yeah, but now sorry Henry, now the picture disappeared, or the presentation disappeared.
Should I just continue, or?
Yes, please, but
yeah.
maybe with the presentation or not. This is your decision.
Okay.
Because the presentation disappeared, you know.
No worries. Yeah. So the project was, so it was commissioned by one of our National Art Council, and then what happens that we actually wrote a treatment, and we show it to the artist, and so we kind of interpret the poem, and most of it we got it right. So basically the poem, there are 3 poems. The first poem is about the artist's father who came to Singapore. If I'm not wrong, I think he came from Indonesia. And the second poem is about is it Lee Kuan Yew, our Prime Minister. And then the third poem was...
sorry, I handle my...
Okay.
So, because this part usually is explained by me. So the first poem was actually written about his father. So if I'm not wrong, he came from Brunei. And the second poem is more about a spiritual journey. And then the third poem, he was actually writing about the third poem, when we read, we thought he was referring to our senior minister Lee Kuan Yew. So our take was that this 3 poem felt like it was about the talking about the early pioneers of early Singapore pioneers. So that was the angle that we had. And but when we pitched him this idea, and he actually told us that to him, poem is meant to be interpreted in many ways. So for him, the last poem, he was actually not referring to Lee Kuan Yew, but he was actually referring to Henry, who was it? The
Sun Yat-sen.
Sun Yat-sen, yeah. But the general spirit that he was trying to convey was a revolution, like that kind of how the struggle against all odds, that pioneer spirit.
So basically, you mixed a couple of poems.
Yes, but with the all 3 poems all convey the same spirit of that struggle with the struggle the early pioneers had.
Okay, and of course, can you tell us about the process? Because I love stop motion. I have to be honest. And when I saw the movie, for me it was yes, I want this movie at craft. So can you tell us more about the process of creation your movie? How long, and what you use, what materials you use to create this movie? It's a paper, it's more?
Yeah. So this part is normally I will handle it. So because the poem is actually about big about people who are making big moves in the world, right? So we are thinking that maybe these are the people we actually usually see in newspaper. So we decided to make the entire film using newspaper. So, but the problem with using newspaper is that because newspaper itself, there's black and white. I mean, there's a lot of, sometimes there are a lot of different colors and contrast, and it creates a lot of distraction when you create a whole structure. So we were thinking that we have to actually differentiate them into colors. And that's when we actually start sorting them into colors, where we we have boxes of red, boxes of blue, and and then we start creating the entire world with newspaper. So that was the first rule that we set for in creating the world. And so the fish is actually made of newspaper, and to create I think just now when we were showing the pictures, right, we actually try to have this. I have this fish here. So you can see, yeah. So the fish is here, and what happened was that in order to make the fish move, right, we actually had to alternate the wireframe so that it can actually move. It can actually wiggle left and right, and inside it's actually hollow. So what the reason why we want to make it hollow is because we wanted to make the fish breathe. And so we had to use our finger to push and press the body. And the entire fish structure that we used kind of a simple wire. We actually call it double wire, and then we just formed a very, very simple rig. And to make the fish scale a bit shiny, right, we actually use clear tape to tape the newspaper, and then we put them together, give this fish a bit of dimension, I guess. Yeah.
And how many sets did you have? Did you had? I mean, one set, one plan, or more? Because in the movie we can see, couple of sets. So
so many? we in terms of background, we had, I think, three backgrounds, which is just a huge sheet of paper that are actually torn from newspaper, and for the set, there's only one. We actually had two, but one was removed because we deem it as not suitable for the film. Yeah. And one thing to take note is that for the newspaper, when we were tearing it, right, we wanted it to tear in a kind of a 50-cent coin, like a coin size, and then we had to use our hands to tear, our fingers to tear, because if you were to use scissors to cut it, right, you will give this very sharp and edgy look that it doesn't look organic. So which is why we wanted. So what happened was we had to start tearing them into small pieces. It cannot be too big or too small. Yeah. So, but actually, what you saw was that there's only one set, but we actually make use of different angles to create this impression that it is actually a different set. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And the last question: how long you made the movie?
Actually, the thing is that we finished the film in 2018 or 2018 or 2017, but we were not happy about it. It was because it was commissioned for Writers Festival, and then after the film was screened, we were not happy about it. But we didn't send it to any festival, and we kept it in our hard disk. But Harry was telling me that we had to do something about it. We have to improve it and further find ways to finish it. And that was when we decided to re-edit it and remove almost half of the film, and then reshoot some of the frames, some of the scenes. And I think most importantly, there's one scene where in the space and there's a globe, right? That was actually done in Blender software. So because we had a problem with giving this idea of scale, because I think in stop motion, in order to create this, the newspaper itself is giving off the size of the object. So what we had to do is we had to create this newspaper, this globe in 3D to give this sense of a huge universe.
Yeah. And then your movie was presented at Annecy. among other festivals, right?
Yeah. We've been sending our film to NSC for the longest time, and finally this one got into NSC. And
it was the place where I discovered your movie. Yeah.
Cool.
So
nice. Thank you. Thank you so much for selecting our film.
Fortunately, the animation world is not so huge. So yeah. Thank you very much. And now, because I can see that, yes, we have questions from the audience. So the first question is from Petrus, like my name. I don't know, Piotr Petrus. This question is to all of you, filmmakers, how the process of distribution is planning from your field. So yeah, it's a good question. Please, if someone wants to talk about this, about the distribution, please. Please. Ambulance, Fabio, Ascaria, how the distribution of the ambulance looks like nowadays.
So like we said before, for ambulance, we haven't started to publish it publicly in public. We submit ambulance to festival film for right now.
Yeah, right now.
But we think soon we will publish it like on the platform like YouTube or anything else. But we will focus on Indonesian platform first because we wanna deliver our message for Indonesian people first.
Yeah, because it's the most important thing that you have to do. Because Indonesian people is kind of not well educated about how important ambulance, and we want our people is kind of increase their awareness about ambulance more.
I think that's
Okay, thank you. Dan, I'm Anika.
I think same with the ambulance. We didn't publish it online for public viewing. I think we just submitted it to different festivals. So yeah, in terms of the distribution planning, we didn't actually plan on it. We just submitted it, to different festivals, and they kind of did the publishing part through the screenings of the short films.
Okay. Jean?
Hello. So is it me or? Sorry.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So the process of how we distributed our film, it's actually like this. We entered our film to different film festivals, and to be honest, I am grateful that we won an international award, that is for the Marine Protection Award of Porto Cesario in Italy. And with that, we have another platform for the film, which is on YouTube. It's on the Rocks Film Festival. They posted it there. And we also have special screenings in different organizations here in the Philippines for the environment organizations. And that's it. We really want to advocate our film, and we really want to raise awareness about plastic pollution. Thank you.
Yeah, it's very good that your movie is presented for public, and the organization are interested to present this movie. Very, very rich. Lee, please, about the distribution. Couple words. Forgotten Dream, Lee.
Oh, hi.
Yes.
So, we actually initially it was internally distributed in our college because it's an final year project, and then we invited studios from Malaysia, different studios from Malaysia to watch our short film alongside with the other short films, other teams that from our college. And after that, we just submitted to various film festivals and also on YouTube platform. Yeah, didn't actually plan a lot about it too.
Okay. Now, Excel, please.
Oh yeah.
Couple words.
For our product, our distribution, there is one of my team that handles it. She usually she will contact for festival. Sometimes festival contact her for putting our animation, but we haven't published it publicly because it has like in our experience, like I mean, we were taught by the teachers that for 1 year at least we need to keep it to ourselves and just publish it festival by festival, not publicly yet, because if we publish it publicly, we cannot put it in the festival anymore. So
yeah, this restriction. Yeah.
So, and usually festival ask for a minimum of 1 year. So after 1 year, usually there's rare chance for us to play it again. And so yeah, for now we just put it in festival. And there in our university there is like a program or an organization where they focus on distributing the students film to festival that has connection with our university. And sometimes they put it in a competition also. Like the last time is Digicon Asia in Japan. That's yeah, I think something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Mostly
you.
online.
Okay. Thanks. Harry or Henry, about the distribution, couple words of your movie.
So for us, we just send it to festivals. We have no intention, not at the moment. I don't think we have any intention to upload it online. On top of that, I think in Singapore we were contacted by Objective. So Objective is in charge of Southeast Asia films, and they approached us to actually they are saying that they want to bring children to different schools in Singapore to show students. So that I would consider that as distribution, and yeah, that's about it. But yeah, mainly for sending to festival, we are sending it on our own.
Yeah. Thanks. Okay, and Chiara, last but not least, about the distribution, please.
So I've been submitting to festivals too, and so far I've been accepted to 3, which is 1 craft, 2 is my school's animation festival, and the 3rd is Animahenasyon, which is a major animation festival here in the Philippines. And I guess after that, maybe next year when no film festivals will accept my film anymore because it's from 2021, I'll probably post it on YouTube.
Okay, thank you. And there is another question to you. That's why I decided to ask you in the end from Ali. What were your limitations and the challenges you faced when you were making your movie, Newly Descent?
I guess one of them is the pandemic, because pre-pandemic, I used to work a lot in school because my equipment wasn't very good. Basically, my laptop is super slow. Also, my tablet wasn't in the very best condition, so I had to sit in most of my friends' classes so I can use the Cintiq there. So that's one of the struggles. Also, I kind of live in the middle of nowhere. So I had no internet for some time. And yeah, I guess it's also I didn't have much people to talk to at school when it comes to like filmmaking, because most of my classmates they were more focused on what they already knew instead of learning more about filmmaking itself. So yeah, most of them just winged it, and I just wanted to know how to do things properly. So yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so I think this is the time we are. No one more question. Sorry, to Jen. Have sent some behind the scenes we missed to show. Can we take time to show it? It's okay. It's a question from Connie. Can we should we present it some background, some things from your movie? I don't know exactly what Connie. Okay. Yeah.
And also, that's how the animators did the film, and they first did the background, and then you can see there that they first did the background before the animation itself. So that's it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I think now we can say that we finished our first panel. I just want to remind you that tomorrow will be the International Animation Day, and during this day and in the frame of celebration of this day, I will present your movies in my city in Poland, in the center of Poland, in Łódź, for the Polish audience, with Polish voting and Polish small award for the best animation from Southeast Asia. So thank you very much for the opportunity. And thank you very much for today's meeting. And thank you for your movies, because they are very, very, very good and important. And this is, yeah, very important. Animation should be important. Thank you one more time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Payat.
Thank you very much, Mr. Payat.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank
you.
you,
See you.
everyone.
See you.
Okay.
Maybe next time.
See you.
Bye.
Screenshot dah. Jangan sampai screenshot ya.
Ingat.
Oh, ini sudah.